Martin Chike Amaewhule, Speaker of the 27-member House of Assembly in Rivers State, was among the People's Democratic Party leaders who participated in the party's World Congress on Saturday, despite court orders halting the exercise. Amaewhule arrived at Ward 1 Oroigwe in Obiakpo local government area to cheers from a crowd of supporters. The party members reportedly held the Congress at Eliozu Community Hall, where they successfully elected new ward executives and a three-man delegate. The event was monitored by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Similar exercise was reportedly held unhindered at different wards across the local government areas. Supporters of the state governor, Similaye Fubara, were said to have avoided the exercise in obedience to the two court orders. But Amaewhule and other supporters of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Chief Nyesom Wike, partook in it, relying on an earlier Federal High Court order that validated the exercise. Recall that Justice Charles Wale on Friday barred the party, its national chairman, Iliya Damagun, and national secretary, Senator Samuel Anyanwu, or their agents from gathering anywhere in Rivers State to hold ward, local government and state congresses pending the determination of the suit before the court. The judge further directed the Inspector General of Police, the Commissioner of Police in Rivers State, the Director General of the Department of State Security Service, and the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps to enforce the order. Before Wale's order, Justice Sobere Biambo had issued an order in a suit filed by David Omereji and 10 others, stopping the PDP, its national chairperson, national financial secretary, and national organizing secretary from conducting the Congress. However, a federal high court in Abuja was said to have countered the first order and allowed the PDP to proceed with its congresses. Justice Peter Alifu had barred the Department of State Services, the police, the Independent National Electoral Commission, and 7 others from stopping, truncating, or disrupting the congresses. Joining me on Open Conversation this morning is Ugochukwu Ifeanyichukwu, a political analyst. Good morning, Ugochukwu, and welcome to Open Conversation. Very quickly, what is your take on this story?
Choma, good morning, Rivers people, and good morning, Nigerians. The impasse in the political crisis in Rivers State continues. And we have seen the first leg of what seemed to be a progress, a progressive movement being overcome by, going ahead with the congresses as stipulated in the timetable rolled out from the National Executive Council and the Working Committee of the PDP, who has deemed it fit to conduct, congresses from the world level, local government, state, and federal this year, 2024, to reposition the party towards effective participation in the 2027 general elections. And coming to Rivers State, you find out that there have been a litany of court orders and counter-court orders in Rivers State. But according to the expose you read, there is a substantive suit, pending before Justice Wale. But we don't know the weight of that suit. Whether is a petition that can really, stop the going ahead with the conduct of a Congress that is coming from national, that is for the benefit of the party in question, the PDP. And then there is another counter court order from Justice Lefu, which asked PDP national to go ahead with the conduct of the elections. So be that as it may, the congresses have been done and dusted, and they've been monitored by APC. Remember last week we talked about of what use and of what potence will be the Justice Wale's judge issuing of order to bar the conduct of the elections, because it would have been time ban It will also not be in favor of those who are loyal to the governor and sympathetic to him, given that forms will be bought or have been bought, and the screening must have been conducted, by people who are sent by the national. And again, the potency of this Congress, again, is because INEC came to monitor it as being alleged, but it will boil down to litigations and counter-litigations until we get to the final judgment. If, at the end of the day, what I know concerning intra-party crisis and political affairs is being resolved by the internal party mechanism. And if the governor and his own group has gone to the court, first of all, exploring all the known party internal organs of resolving conflict and coming to an amicable agreement, then their suit will be valid. But if not, the court will still send them back to use the party's internal mechanism, which will be to the credit of Amaewhule and his group. By that time, it had been, the time would have been, the event would have been overtaken by time. And for now, we will not say it's a win-win. It's a win for Martin Amaewhule-led group, nor a win for the governor until those two cases that are lying before these 2 or 3 different courts are being sorted out. Right. Then we know who wins and who loses at the end of the day. That's my position. All
right. Juba, what is your take on this matter?
My take is the clear show of the state of the nation today. The country has little or no directions, and the judiciary cannot be excused for the litany of problems we are experiencing in this nation. Whether we like it or yes, people before, in those days growing up, when you hear somebody is a judge, there's a level of respect accorded to those persons. When you hear somebody is a legal luminary, is a barrister, you say, oh, learned colleagues, you have so much respect that we are accorded. But today, they are considered as political tools, people that are being used here and there. Whether we like it or yes, without mincing words, on what capacity is the governor and his group shying away from the Congress? They are shying away from the Congress on the capacity of a judgment they are depending upon that has restricted the People's Democratic Party's leadership to come and conduct congresses in Rivers State. And what is the bane of all of this? People are struggling what they can, in whatever way they can, to allay the fears and tensions already brewing in the state. We can pretend for all there is to pretend. People can arrogate to themselves the powers that they do not have. Every man is only as strong as the breath God has put in his or her lungs. If that breath is taken, like the stakeholders we have seen that fell just last week, every other man will lie like a bag of cement on the floor, lifeless. So until people come to the point to realize that these rascalities will not take us anywhere, we are only destroying the fabrics of the so-called democracy that all the government we have thought we are trying to build. Ask yourself, until the court declares whether the Martin Amaewhule and his factions are members of the People's Democratic Party, whatever they are doing or whatever they are thinking is just an imagination of their own. As it is, they say when something is in court, you let it lie in court. Today, you are still being considered a fugitive from the People's Democratic Party. Do not forget, whether we accept it or we do not accept it, the realities are on ground. The country, the presidency and the people of the ruling party might be struggling for a one-party state, which is almost evident everywhere. The crisis in all the other opposition political parties all around the country is a clear indication that something is fishy somewhere. Whether you pretend, whether they want to blow, want to take things out of proportion, it's our own observation, our personal analysis. For me, I want to ask, now that some people have gone to have congresses and in the name of saying, okay, they want loyal to the Minister of FCT, now, is it that the Minister of FCT has his own judges, that he shops his own judgment, then the governor will have his own judges to shop their own judgment, and whatever pleases anybody, that's what they want to carry out? Whether we like it or yes, if there was a clear case of a Congress yesterday with the way and manner the state is, we cannot be pretentious. I think today every security agency is coming out to give us security report because there's a protest out there that when people are so scared of what can happen and what cannot happen. But everybody's pretending and shying away because we have consciously opened our eyes to build stronger men as against stronger institutions. Today there's a lot of rascality in Rivers State, rascality in the judiciary, rascality in the country, and we are also some set of persons are applauding it on on a day-to-day, maybe for one benefit or the other. I keep asking people, when you even talk about strength, which of the politicians in the South can really come out to tell me, Chuba, that they are strong? With the type of demographics that we have in the Nigerian demography or political demography today, I don't think there's anyone that I will come and applaud to say, politician. In all fairness, on national television, I'm making my statement very clear and boldly. The truth remains that at this point in time, we're supposed to be thinking of building systems that would outlive us. No matter how strong you are, you will not live more than 120. And in the course of getting to 100, your relevance would have so been downplayed to a level that you might just be alive. Nobody will consult you, ask you questions. So until we get to that point to realize that these rascalities that the government is allowing to fester has to be nipped in the bud. And I hope and pray that there is a system someday and sometimes soonest that addresses all of this. Yes, this is the present state of the Nigerian state. You'll be so surprised next week again, a court comes up with a judgment and you find out that the similar faction goes for another Congress. Ask yourself, people have said that the leadership of the People's Democratic Party is in bed with the ruling party today. People have come out to debunk it that it is not so, as it is in the Labour Party and in the NNPP. Whether we like it or yes, if the governor comes up tomorrow to say, oh, for one reason or the other, we are doing this, we are doing X, Y, Z, based on another court judgment, because it's always been based on court judgments and people have been carrying out their funny actions. Then the comes up with another court judgment, we are only making the issues more and more complex. I thought that at this point in time, stakeholders, both in the People's Democratic Party and even the ruling party as it were, to have struggled to see to it that these fears of persons are laid with some maturity in the level of, what's it called, trying to come and foster peace, talking to persons and trying to see how they can ease the tension. But by the day, we see people are trying to equally buy more fuel, bring more kerosene, bring more matches to see to it that it burns to the ground. And I don't know who wants to benefit from it. Like the analyst clearly stated, he said, until all these litanies of court cases are vacated and resolved, nobody can say this is a winner or this is a loser. But as it is, who are the people suffering? The Nigerian people, because many of us are moving around Nigeria today with so much tension. Outside of the banditry and criminality of terrorists and all, we're talking about political unrest that can lead to anything at any given point in time. So for me, it is high time the president rises up to occasion, the judiciary rises up to occasion, try to do the needful, because the needful is nip the issues in the bud. If you want to be sincere, sit down and give us clear judgments. Don't come and give us technicalities that even children will look at and laugh at and say these are the judgments from the apex court or whatever. I think for now, and on this matter, I just want to believe that the president waits in, stakeholders take it as serious as we have tried to present it, and do the needful going forward.
All right, well, you talked about the president wading in. If you recall, the president waded in sometime at the genesis of this matter.
The president waded in the most shabby manner.
Hold on, Choba. Presidential Peace Party. You say it's shabby, but you're still calling the president to wade in. Then moving forward, let us even look at the concerns or the arguments from different quarters. Now, some persons have raised concern around the jurisdiction issue again. And the question is Rivers State government yet making the same mistake of jurisdiction issue? Now, this has to do with PDP National Congress. And according to of course, the state's High Court and the Federal High Court are sister courts. They have coordinate jurisdiction. However, there are the Federal High Court has some exclusivity to it. And in defining that exclusivity, it was clearly stated that issues that have to do with the legislature, state legislature, the governor, as it were, it's in the exclusive list of the Federal High Court. Then moving forward, federal parastatals, any suit that has to do that, any government parastatal, federal parastatal is involved, and national bodies like INEC in this matter is involved in this. INEC is federal. And then you look at PDP, it's not PDP state matter, it's a PDP national because it's a national congress. The question would be, what is the wisdom in going to a state high court yet again? Having seen what played out in the ruling of the appeal court over jurisdiction matter.
You want me to respond?
Yes.
And listen, this brings us to the state of the nation that we find ourselves today. On the side of the governor and on the side of the minister, you find out that there are a lot of lawyers. The minister is a said lawyer. We have the SSG of the state as a said lawyer. We have a lot of lawyers. Because we have a country that has built strong men without creating or making institutions to be strong. People now come up and they now read the constitutions or the laws as it benefits them or it is to their best interest, interpret it in that manner, and come out to grandstand on it, and nothing happens thereafter going forward. Yes, if there is something that happens to a state high court that takes the position or does not know a jurisdiction, how do you tell me that the justice of a state high court does not know his jurisdiction on a matter? So we are only playing with ourselves with what's it called, terminology and logic. English is a borrowed language, whether we accept it or not. We call it our lingua franca. Yet that is what we used to study in school. Today you find out that people, you say, this person knows so much. At the end of the day, you find out the person is acting funny because why? There are interests that have gone beyond the state, the interests that have gone beyond the people, but they have become personal interests. So whether we like it or not, like the community say, listen, let us see how it all pans out. But the truth is, it's a very, very abysmal state to find ourselves as a people. Because if we can say legal luminaries do not even know their jurisdiction to do their jobs or their duties at this point in time, what rights do they really come to stand for, to stand as advocates for people when they have issues? The truth remains that this is the state we find ourselves. The Nigerian state today, the economy, the government is in comatose. It has little or no direction, and something has to be done, and done fast.
All right. If I Chubu, okay, when Chuba was speaking, he talked about Martin Amaewhule and the other lawmakers participating in the World Congress when, to a large extent, the national, according to him, have said that these people are not part of our party. However, if you recall, in the World Congresses, I didn't come across any story or any issue where these lawmakers were barred from participating in the World Congresses. They participated fully in the World Congresses. And so far, one of the arguments was that at the world level, they have not even been suspended yet. And their world chairmen have come out to say that they've not received letter of defection from them. Now, Chuba raised a very, very valid point when he said, why are they questioning their presence in that World Congress? What do you have to say to that?
This issue of authenticity of membership, we have been dealing with it for a very long time. And to authenticate the membership of a given person to a particular political party is your membership registration in your wards. And you have your membership card and all that. Though there are stories flying left, right, and center that the Martin Amaewhule led group has left the PDP, which when you are provoked or in the extreme cases, you can make some statements out of anger or out of being displeased or being shoveled out. But when you realize that maybe my choice of words was not what I would have used in the public per se, you are bound to retrace your steps. And given this type of gameplay in Rivers State, this is politics. And in politics, I don't know why people are so vicious and so tenacious in holding the things that politicians say. Like my brother said when he was discussing about the defection of some APC members back to PDP, you find out that this is the dance we see in the Nigerian political space. So somebody can wake up in the morning, he's a member of PDP, when his aspirations and the self-centered gains are not actualized in that particular place, he looks for a favorable ground. So when they made such statement that they left PDP, those statements were made on frayed knives and on irreconcilable differences as existed within the time. But coming to real and proper defection and leaving of a party with the political space in Nigeria and what the Electoral Act said, the people of their caliber that are holding electoral offices for a political party, what they will do is that they will tender a letter through their ward chairman. Then their ward chairman, there will be onwards transmission. We have seen big political bigwigs, defect in Nigeria, and we see the processes. So, but for the Martin Amaewhule, he didn't attend the World Congress in his capacity as the Speaker of the Rivers State House Assembly. He attended as a PDP man who has only one vote to cast and who has his preferred candidate in the world level to vote for. So also other members of PDP that participated in the Congress. So it is not a personal, this is not where I expect us to be talking about defection or no defection. This is a pure PDP affair. And the PDP Federal National has come out to say that we are not party to a suit that was instituted to say that these people are no longer members of the PDP. So we had that clearly, and the PDP National has not issued any kind of contrary statement. And you know that Martin Amaewhule attended the retreat that involves the legislatures and the speakers and some other political office holders. He represented the Rivers State House of Assembly. So I don't see his defection as what do you call it? It is not safe executory about the defection or maybe the seat being declared vacant. So we don't have to go into that until, like I said, as my brother acknowledged, that all those things are in the purview of the courts. And until we wait, some cases are even in the Supreme Court. Some cases are in the appeal court. Justice Motosho's case that clearly validated the authenticity of Martin Amaewhule has not been challenged till today. I mean, the judgment that came out on the 22nd of January 2024, you know, that gave credence to his authenticity as the substantive Speaker of the Rivers State Assembly is not in contention. So when we look at those things, we allow the courts to do the needful, and we pray that they do it so fast so that all this political brouhaha will come to and we move forward in Rivers State.